Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Another day, another story. Wings of Fire. Chapter 1, Introduction. In this chapter, Kalam introduces himself and his family. He talks about his father, Jainal Abdin, who was a devout Muslim and owned a boat that he used to ferry pilgrims to the temple island of Rameswaram. Kalam's mother, Ashiyama, was a simple woman who could not read or write, but who instilled in her children a love of education. Kalam also describes his childhood in Rameswaram, where he was known as Rameswaram's paperboy, due to his job delivering newspapers for his family's business. Chapter 2, The Little Boy from Rameswaram. In this chapter, Kalam talks about his early years in school, where he was known as a mischievous and curious student. He also discusses the influence of his teachers, particularly Siva Subramania Iyer, who inspired him to pursue a career in science. Kalam describes how he became interested in flying, and how he was inspired by the flight of a bird to study aeronautics. Chapter 3, Initiation. In this chapter, Kalam describes his studies at Madras Institute of Technology, where he earned a degree in aeronautical engineering. He also talks about his work with the Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, and his involvement in the launch of India's first satellite, Aryabhata, in 1975. Kalam describes his role in the development of India's satellite and missile programs, including the Rohini satellite, which was successfully launched in 1983. Chapter 4, Creation. In this chapter, Kalam discusses his work on missile development, including the Agni and Prithvi missiles. He talks about the challenges he faced in developing these weapons, including limited resources and opposition from some members of the scientific community. Kalam also describes his work on India's nuclear program, including the Pokhran-2 nuclear tests in 1998. Chapter 5, Propitiation. In this chapter, Kalam talks about the criticism he faced during his career, particularly in the aftermath of the Pokhran-2 tests. He describes how he responded to this criticism with humility and a commitment to his work. Kalam also discusses his belief in the power of education and how he worked to promote education and technology in rural areas of India. Chapter 6, The Turning Point. In this chapter, Kalam talks about the death of his mother and how it affected him. He also discusses his move from the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, to the Ministry of Defense, where he continued his work on missile development. Chapter 7, Creation and Beyond. In this chapter, Kalam discusses his role in the development of India's missile program, including the successful launch of the Agni-2 missile in 1999. He also talks about his efforts to promote technology and education in rural areas of India, particularly through the Pura, Providing Urban Amenities to Rural Areas, program. Chapter 8, Sorrow and Inspiration. In this chapter, Kalam describes the death of his father and the impact it had on him. He also talks about his belief in the power of faith and spirituality, and how these beliefs helped him to overcome the challenges he faced in his life. Chapter 9, Spiritual Life. In this chapter, Kalam discusses his spiritual beliefs and the importance of prayer in his life. He talks about the role of religion in promoting peace and understanding, and how his own faith helped him to find meaning and purpose in his work. Chapter 10, A Grateful Nation. In this chapter, Kalam reflects on his retirement from government service and the honors he received from the Indian government, including the Padma Bhushan and the Bharat Ratna. He also talks about his work with youth and his efforts to inspire them to pursue education and careers in science and technology. Chapter 11, Epilogue. In the final chapter, Kalam reflects on his life and his belief in the power of youth to shape the future. He encourages young people to dream big and to work hard to achieve their goals. Kalam also talks about the importance of perseverance and determination in the face of challenges. Overall, Wings of Fire is a memoir that provides a detailed account of APJ Abdul Kalam's life and career, from his childhood in Rameswaram to his work as a scientist and government official. The book is an inspiring account of Kalam's perseverance and dedication to his work, and his commitment to promoting education and technology in India.